Enough is enough! I have had it with these snakes on this
Alright, let's get straight to the point. So, since the update we got in October, we have been given this brand new walkthrough exhibit. And now, it's worth mentioning that this walkthrough exhibit was made available to base game players. However, there's not much you can really do with it outside of you can like customize the walls and stuff. Maybe if you're trying to make some indoor exhibit for some habitat species, maybe you can find some use for that. But there's nothing to put in it. No animals that can go in this if you are just a base game player. Instead, you need to have some DLCs. Now, there have been 4 DLCs released since we got this walkthrough exhibit. The first one gave us the lovely Egyptian fruit bats, which were the first animals introduced with flying animations. Now, granted, these flying animations just are on loop, so, you know, take that as you will, but it's nice to have, you know. It seems like a step in a good direction. And then, next we have the butterflies from the Grassland Animal Pack. More flying animations. These ones also come with the added bonus of having interspecies enrichment. The first animals or exhibit animals that can be housed with other animals in exhibits. So like that's another, you know, step in a good direction. It also has a little animation that happens with the guests where they'll land on their finger. So guest / animal animations / interactions, very nice. Then we got the tropical pack with the sloth, maybe a little bit more controversial of a pick, as people would have preferred this as a habitat animal, but you know, it is what it is. We have a sloth now. We didn't have one before. All right, so you know, very very strong start. We got some more, you know, use out of this, out of the past 3 DLCs. But what did we get in this most recent one? Oh, we got an exhibit box animal. We got a snake. Thanks Frontier. Now, I ask you, why does this snake exist? Why did they think that adding a snake, when we already have a bunch of snakes, and we don't really need more snakes, why did they think this was a good idea? Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with having snakes in the game. The problem doesn't lie with the animals, it lies with the exhibit boxes itself. And I could make an entire separate video on things that I think would probably make these exhibit boxes a lot more interesting, ways that Frontier could fix these, but that's a topic for a different video. Why do we have this snake? Well, I have a couple maybe ideas, little theories in my head. Now, I think this snake, it could be indicative of either very good things or not so good things in the future of Planet Zoo. Now, the thing that people have been wanting in this game since launch is birds with flying animations so that people are able to make aviaries for their zoos. And it would seem with the addition of the walkthrough exhibit that we have at least some way of accomplishing that. At least if Frontier would add birds to the game, then, you know, we could actually hypothetically do that. However, they haven't done it yet for some reason, unbeknownst to us. We can only theorize about that. My personal theory, it's maybe a little bit of an optimistic theory, but I feel like because Frontier cares about their game and they care about their community and they listen to their community, that's what so far my experience has been with playing their games. I feel like they are gearing up to do some kind of big launch with birds in Planet Zoo. I feel like a lot of people have kind of given up at this point, and maybe I'm just a little more optimistic than everyone else because I have not been playing this game since launch. I've only been playing it for about a year now, So maybe, I'm just being optimistic. I haven't had to wait as long. Everybody else has given up, and I'm the last one holding out on Frontier actually giving us flying birds. But I feel like it is possible, and there's no reason why Frontier wouldn't want to do this. Like, even if it was just in the walkthrough exhibits, like, that would be good enough, I think. It wouldn't be exactly what everyone wants, but at least at the end of the day, there would be birds. However, I think it's possible for Frontier to even go one step further beyond if we look at one of their other games. Jurassic World Evolution 2 is a game made in the same engine by the same company. It's been out for 2 years. It's been receiving regular updates and new animals, and since launch, this game has had flying creatures, fully functioning, even though maybe this game isn't quite as hang on. I'm using Planet Zoo buttons, so I keep rolling the camera in the wrong way. Anyways, this this game may be a little less complex than Planet Zoo in a lot of ways, but I do it again. There are flying animals in this engine. It exists. It is possible, and I feel like there's not necessarily a reason why they couldn't implement this in Planet Zoo. I feel like it is doable. These guys are really loud. Hang on, let me back up. But to me, it seems fairly simple. They just fly around. When they get tired, they land on different perch points. Seems like something that could be done in Planet Zoo. And again, I want to go back. I feel like Frontier, they care about their games and they care about their communities. So there's no reason why they couldn't implement this in Planet Zoo. However, again, maybe I am being a little too hopeful here. But, I mean, hey, the mechanics are here. It exists. Now, the general consensus among Planet Zoo content creators at the moment is that the game is at the end of its lifespan. We are getting our final updates and DLCs, and that it's time for Frontier to move on to their next big thing. Now, I agree that Frontier seems like they have something big in store for the near future. I am not ready to give up hope on Planet Zoo just yet. I believe that there's a lot more things that could be done with this game. I think it's possible for them to do. I think they care about the game. I think big things might be coming around the corner. This most recent update and DLC were not necessarily the biggest, and I feel like it's also worth mentioning, going back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, they didn't even get a DLC. Normally we get a DLC for both games around the same time. There was no DLC for Jurassic World, only Planet Zoo, and the Planet Zoo DLC was 5 ungulates and a cat, and then the only unique animal was the porcupine, and then the update was just a cinematic route editor and FlexiColor staff. So really, they haven't been doing a lot, which would make me think that they have something big upcoming, and I'm still keeping my fingers crossed that there's going to be birds. It just doesn't make sense for there to not be any birds in the game. And for base game players, like I mentioned earlier, you have access to the exhibits, the walkthrough exhibits, but you have nothing to put in them. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, for them to just introduce this new feature and then just shortly after discontinue updating and adding new things to the game when there's so little that we have for this walkthrough exhibit so far. Just three different things. Like, there's got to be more. There's no way they're just gonna stop working on this game after this. Like, I don't know. Maybe I am just being too optimistic, but I want to believe. I want to believe in the future of Planet Zoo. I would not care for a Planet Coaster 2. A lot of people are saying that's going to be Frontier's next big thing. I would not care for that at all. I like this game because I'm passionate about animals. And so I love playing this game because it has animals. If they just make a game where I get to build roller coasters, I don't care. Not my thing. A lot of other people would be happy about that. Not me. I want to see more Planet Zoo, and I'm not giving up just yet. But anyways, that's all I have to say today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, and if you enjoyed it, consider subscribing, leaving a like, all those things that YouTubers ask you to do. I'm pretending like I'm a YouTuber with like 40 subscribers, but I've been receiving a surprising amount of support on my stuff, and thank you for that. If you have subbed and liked my videos already, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.